Uh, so the offlane Pango is now there for the side of TNC as well. T1 knowing
10
this
seconds remaining.
can go into that pos 1 pickup if they so wish, and I imagine they
5
probably
seconds
will.
remaining.
Maybe just leave Polison's hero till last unless he's going to be playing the support Ember, or even the support Batrider maybe.
Mm,
It's doubtful,
I
but
feel, yeah, I feel more strongly about the Forever Batrider, to be honest.
I'd agree with that.
Yeah, he tends to go fairly greedy. I mean, every time that they've picked it, they've won, which is always a good sign. I mean, it's just a strong hero overall. It goes to show how long this patch has TNC gone on for, though, Protocol. because 3 matches that they've played it in, and it was 1 month ago, 1 month ago, and 2 months ago. So it's
Right.
quite a while. And was it Forever every single time? Yes, it was.
Okay. Well, there you have it. It is going to be for a Batrider, and I mean T1's got the tiny now, so pos for tiny, I believe. I might be calling that
10
too early.
seconds
We
remaining.
have seen some mid tinies popping up from different teams, but
5
I don't
seconds
think T1's going
remaining.
to go down that route. I think they are just going to give Polison the tiny pos 4
Dire team
and
ban.
TNC Predator straight into the Death Prophet for themselves.
I like the pos for Tiny a lot more. I feel like it fits Pollison's style. I think his Mirana is something that's a little bit off his normal style, even though he plays it really well. Both that and the Skywrath are a bit more of your sit back and get some crowd control off. But other than that, he really likes to 10 be up in your seconds face with remaining. Earth Spirit, Clockwork, Tusk, Tiny. Those are his style of heroes. 5 seconds So I think remaining. it's most likely going to be that for him.
Okay. But the DP, how do you feel about that? Like, that seems to be the mid DP there for Armel. We have seen a bit of off lane and safe lane DP as well, but it's probably not going to be down that route. They probably are just going to run the mid DP here.
Mm.
Still a strong hero, you think, this Death Prophet?
I think it is. It just depends on what you drafted into. There was a period in China where it was literally picked and banned for every single game
That it
for a
was.
solid month or so. And then nothing happened, no changes, and it just stopped. They just stopped picking it. They stopped banning it. They started going into this Battle Furiosa that we're seeing a whole lot more and has really been, what's the word? Pioneered by them. But yeah, TNC not so much Predators DP turn love to anymore. ban. And speaking of the Ursa, they ban it out on T1, not wanting to give them that pure right click potential. Um, what does that potentially suggest for how they're going to round out their draft with because they've got the last pick overall. So something that doesn't really care about fighting into a DP or one that can get away and reinitiate a 10 team fight seconds because remaining. Ember Spirit and Batrider, they're great at doing that. Batrider just fireflies and runs away, 5 or you seconds get the pick off remaining. to start, you get the AA Ice Blast so that DP isn't healing. Same thing with the Oracle. Um, there's like a weird timing though with the Ice Blast. The debuff is 12 seconds and the false promise is 10 seconds.
Right.
So if you've still got the Ice Blast debuff on you by the time that False Promise ends, then you still take the damage. So it's a weird sort of interaction.
That's a strange one, but in terms of those pos 1 picks for T1, they have run that pos 1 Veno. Uh, it hasn't worked out too much, but
TNC
it has been
Predators
left this
turn
whole
to
time, and
ban.
I don't necessarily advise they go for that pos one Veno. In fact, TNT Predator seems to think that they want a mid hero here for T1 still. So perhaps
Yep.
assuming that the Ember's going to go safe lane instead, not
Yeah.
wanting to maybe verse the DP mid.
Yeah. I think Lena is one of those few heroes that just directly counters the DP 10 or is at seconds least able to remaining. trade favorably against her. Um, so I can completely understand 5 it. My only seconds hesitation remaining. for mentioning it was it's not really as much of a hero that Dire T1 likes team to ban. run. So feeling a little bit hesitant for it, but they're going to go with the Gabby Spectre, who's been playing it a whole lot more in recent times and having some pretty good success, it has to be said.
Yeah, he definitely has. And right now, you don't really have the greatest ways of dealing with the Spectre. You got that Bat Rider for that laning stage. That should be pretty nice. And I guess you've got the Ice Blast of the AA later on. But the Spectre and the
10
Oracle going to be
seconds
pretty
remaining.
disgusting to have to play against. Even the Pangolier Grimstroke
5
might be a
seconds
really dirty
remaining.
lane coming out from TNC that could be quite hard to deal with here for T1. But they have that final pick. They have 15 seconds left. One more to go.
Hmm.
I guess you could try go maybe something like a Necrophos. No, they go for the Morphling, so they do go for that safe lane pickup of the Morphling. I don't know if it's
Well,
good enough to take down the Spectre. It could be a bit of a concern there, but
mm, I wonder if that's going to change how he's itemizing here on In Your Dream with the Morphling, because I mean Spectre's a great hero to morph into. Tons of great spells. You can use a lot of your farm and just turn their aggression right back at them. I was thinking maybe they could have gone with something even greedier, like a Terrorblade. Wouldn't have been too bad, but I don't mind this Morphling, that's for sure. I just feel like T1 have got a lot of their comfort heroes, but this KP Pangolier, not him necessarily, but the fact that it's been played in the off lane is worrying me just a little bit. Hmm.
see how it all pans out. There are Miracle's going to be on that safe lane Ember as well. The mid Morphling, it seems like, from In Your Dream here up against Armel's DP.
Yeah.
Going to be an interesting match to say the least. This is game one, so you've got a bit of time to try and experiment here. See, just feel out your opponent, see what they're how they're feeling today, and of course you will have a guaranteed game number 2 between these two straight after this. Should I ask you which team has the better draft?
You can ask, but I can't tell you. No. I would say I like aspects of both of theirs, right? Like I like the fact that they've been able to get away with the DP and the Spectre. Maybe it's going to feel a little slow if they don't win the laning stage super hard. So I think it might come down to individual skill here. And, like we were saying before, with this Morphling going into the mid lane In Your Dream is probably one of the most skilled players in the entire Southeast Asian region. So we will see what he's able to do. I'm going to give a slight edge to T1 here.
Well, okay, I like hearing it. I was actually leaning towards the TNC side, but I've got to admit I don't particularly find myself seeing Death Prophets winning that much every time I cast. So it does scare me a bit for TNC if they are. I mean, it is Armel. I'll give him that. It's just that long exorcism timing is always what gets me with this hero.
Mm.
Just having to play around it constantly. Just trying to make it as efficient as possible with the timing of that exorcism being used. Can be a bit
Yeah.
rough.
I mean, like, AA Ice Blast, 40-second cooldown. Batrider Lasso, sure, probably the longest, but you can still make a ton of stuff happen without it. Ember Spirit doesn't care. Morphling doesn't really care. Tiny doesn't care at all with ultimates. They're ready to go at all stages of the game. And I think the thing that lent me a bit more in favor of T1 is the fact that they were able to get away with this Batrider, and they haven't lost with it in the past couple of months. So I'm feeling it for T1.
Well, there's been a bit of friendly banter going on between these two. Forever, he'll have the final word. Apparently, his ass is too heavy to carry. I disagree, Forever. I'm sure we can carry you here in this game. We'll see. T1. Paulson going to be there with the Batrider to make sure. It's going to be a bit of an annoying lane here for Gabby for sure. Like, I suppose March with the Fortune's End, though, should be able to purge up the sticky napalm. Make it a bit safer for Gabby to just farm up in this safe lane.
Hmm. Yeah, the banter that was going on in all chat, I think that was about their pubs, because obviously these guys are playing up against each other a fair amount, being relatively even in their MMR. And I think in the lead up to this game, Forev was actually the last one to join the lobby. He had to abandon his game that he was playing just to make the game time. So
Does MMR matter, Danog? Is it just a number?
it matters to me.
Okay. Well, that's fair enough. I kind of go with that. It does matter to me as well. Miracle in this safe lane, Ember. Gonna be there with Joe Cam. Of course, KP gonna be around with Tim's. Shouldn't be too bad of a lane here for Miracle. Of course, you do have that nasty combo of the Swashbuckle and the Inkswell combination. But Miracle does have the ability to dodge that out with the Sleight of Fist, and of course later on with the Remnants. They shouldn't be too susceptible to it unless they know Sleight of Fist is down. It's gonna be
Nice presence of mind here by March. We have this Deep Observer Ward here by Paulson. He went for the snipe onto the Courier, which would have prevented a bit more, I believe, regen coming out for March. But He uses the Fortune's End to make sure he was rooted and doesn't get that second right click onto the courier.
That is a very nice play. Top lane, KP getting very low. Miracle doing the same. Tim's still trying to go for the kill. Stroke of Fate will land. That will be the first blood coming out on Tim's on that Grimstroke. And of all people, he does get the POS 1 Ember.
Very handy indeed. You can see here the attack range is really starting to take effect in the mid lane as well. Armel nearly having double in your Dream's attack range, which means he can get this early harass on. Maybe a bit less so now that he's reached up onto that level 3 and has more points in the attribute shift.
Yeah, absolutely. Must feel nice for it in your Dream to just be able to attribute shift through the Spirit Siphon and essentially make it so it does nothing. Top lane, Tim's ends up getting Jokam again on the AA this time around. So, finding both heroes now on that Grimstroke, and if this keeps up, it's going to be a great offlane for TNC.
Yeah, I mean, Tim's is one of those cores where you can be a little bit greedier. You can get away with a little bit more because KP plays a very sacrificial style of offlane. So, see if they're able to make it work for him. It's not really one of those games where an Ag Scepter would be fantastic. Of course, if you were coming up against this Spectre, it would be amazing. But we'll see what he opts to go for this time around.
Mel still just giving it to In Your Dream now, really forcing him to strength morph quite a bit on that Morphling. It's like he's just going to use the Tango to regen up now. Still keeping up in terms of CS in this mid lane, but it has been a tad rough for In Your Dream. And it goes back to that harass you were talking about earlier on, just having that extended range. Even the Crypt Swarm can be quite annoying.
Paulison's in a little bit of trouble. Yeah.
Paulison does get away, doesn't really have any regen left, so it looks like he's running all the way back to the base. In all fairness as well, Forev hasn't really found the opening to actually go on to Gabby yet.
Yeah, I think he doesn't mind though. He's able to just consistently harass him up. We've got this Necro Book build from Gabby as well, so he's going to want to start farming up a lot of these ancient camps for himself. And maybe give a little bit more of that experience in lane to his support. So you always need to be careful of getting dived on by Forev, but if it's creating space for Gabby to do his thing, I think he's fine with it.
Absolutely. I kind of wonder how much that the Necro Books will be nerfed in that next patch as well, coming in a few weeks. It just seems too good on any single hero that you want to buy it on.
Yeah, hopefully heavily. It's just a Midas replacement basically that has team fight potential as well.
Yeah. Inkswell, top lane, KP going to go on to Jokam with the Swashbuckle, and it's going to be another easy pick off there for Tim's, who is now on a killing spree on that Grimstroke, and just a constant stroke of fate from a distance, just securing the kills. Miracle, he's still been farming really well though on that Ember, so although they are getting kills on the Grimstroke, you're not really losing too much if you are T1 in the safe lane.
Not going horrible. Forev, he's able to be extra efficient, take this small camp away from TNC, as well as pick up the Bounty Rune and clear a Radiant Creep Wave. So he's doing a good job on this bottom side of the map, putting some decent pressure here onto Gabby too.
That he is. Gabby is pretty much completely out of regen. He's just got the magic wand left. That is still going to be very effective up against Forev with the sticky napalm spam, but they have basically forced it so March has to remain here and protect Gabby. Forev going to pop the Firefly now, may try and turn around onto Gabby, but well, Fortune's End going to be expended out from March. Now that they saw the Firefly.
Paulison's up here on this top side of the map. They've scattered him out with Tim's, so this gank potential has been somewhat reduced. He might try and make a play here onto Armel in the mid lane, but he's got a little bit of a level advantage against In Your Dream. And who's the luck favoring tonight? It's going to be on the top side of the map, so Paulson, he's going to grab that haste, head straight back to top. There's some action happening up here.
KP's in trouble. He'll swashbuckle away, but Miracle does manage to secure the kill with Sleight of Fist. And with that haste rune, Paulson, he's going to run back down mid.
Just did a loop-de-loop around, you know.
Nothing wrong with that. Tim's is going to be around the corner, almost expecting something to happen. So Paulson looks like he's not really going to be able to get anything out of that haste rune. They will put a bounty on Armel's head though, so they do give the indication they'll be coming for him very, very soon. Just a matter of when, but for now, you could try and play onto KP again.
They're just waiting for any sort of swashbuckle here. No, they get the full combo off already.
Yeah, he just blows up, and he just TP'd in as well. It's going to be a walk of shame back for that Pangolier. I guess the best you could ask for is maybe Tim's is going to soak some XP on the Grimstroke, but it's not exactly who you want to be in the lane.
No, definitely not. And, well, Polison's just doing Polison things, right? Moving around the map, making a lot of stuff happen, this initiation of team fights, and just making cores scared to essentially just even move to their lane.
It's the way to do it. Just going to stick around that top lane. Tim's probably aware he's around here somewhere. He's having a look, but Polison's going to remain on that high ground and just keep himself away from that vision. But now his courier goes past a Radiant Observer ward. They'll know he's there. Will it matter, though? He's moving in. KP is already down to half HP. Polison's going to loop around with a great avalanche opportunity, but he'll go after the Grimstroke, tosses him in with the Inkswell. Now Armel's going to get in there with the Haunt from Gabby as well. Jocam, he'll be the first one to die. They'll go for a bit more, but it looks like Miracle's going to be just fine to walk away from this. And so now TNC are going to try and rush for that top tier 1 tower.
Yeah, heavy commitment put up onto this top side. Forev's needing to make sure that he gets a good trade out of this. He's hit up onto his level 7, so that Firefly going to be even more effective in these team fights, especially once he finishes his Boots of Travel. Not sure what the double Windlace is about. You don't get that stacked speed, but...
That's a weird one.
Paulson
Avalanche
again.
toss. Paulson, 3-man Avalanche. They do kill off Tim straight away. Now Paulson getting low. He does go down. It's just the trade of those pos 4s, and it will force out the rotation there from In Your Dream as well, who does eventually just TP straight back down the mid lane. I wouldn't say that was too bad for T1. That was the first exorcism of the game, and it's not like they lost much.
No, I'd say that was very good for T1. They didn't lose the tower. Sure, they made a few rotations and killed a couple of supports, but the support that died for T1 being Polison, he died to give a multi-kill streak away to, or sorry, to give it over to his core. You know, an extra 300 odd damage at this stage of the game is really impactful. And again, Forev was farming on the bottom side that entire time. He sold up one of his Windlaces, just not wanting to waste that gold. And now he's got those Boots of Travel, so good luck getting away from him once he pops that Firefly.
Yeah, he's going to be running real fast. Polison's going to be around the corner as well, just waiting. But top lane, March does die to Miracle, just dives in past the tier 1. Tim's, Inkswell's the range creep, but of course it won't chase him. He'll have a laugh about it.
KP's just sitting down here soaking up some experience. He's hit him to his level 6. Will there be any rotations down towards the bottom side of the map? It's still 25 seconds until this exorcism and another minute until the haunt. So you can tell that they don't really want to be here with Gabby. He's going to get this cold feet procced as well.
They're trying to get the outpost back because TNC, they took the one at the top lane. In fact, they've already got it down to the bot lane. So Forev, he'll go after Gabby. Jocam going to be down now to Gabby. And in fact, Forev, he may have gone too far. March doesn't have Fortune Zen though to lock him in place. So KP, he'll make a chase onto Polison. In fact, Spectral Dagger and the Purifying Flames, was it? Killed off Forev.
I guess so. It didn't look like the dagger had connected just yet, so I was surprised at how Gabby got that damage. Maybe the reflection from sitting in the Firefly?
Perhaps.
But that's nearby, though.
Yeah,
anyway.
it's a weird one. I think it must have been Purifying Flames. Still, Miracle does also get a pick off there up at the top lane onto Tim's.
Oh, I think it was the Necro book, actually, going down.
Oh, right, he does have that. I didn't realize he even had that up yet. Right, so the Firefly just burning the warrior creep. Nice. Toss, mid lane. They are going to jump onto that Oracle. Easy kill there for Miracle, and now they'll chase down Armel on the DP. Well, they don't really need to. He got locked in. They'll claim the bounty, and T1 are onto the T1 mid tower. Miracle, Soulbind out, Haunt in as well. Gabby does secure that kill. Now the Rolling Thunder from KP will go on towards that Morphling. They do secure a dominating spree here on Gabby. Only issue being, though, you lost that mid tier 1 in the process.
You did, and it's just a result of a bit of an unfortunate overextension. Nice Soulbind coming through from Tim's on his Grimstroke there. They were just trying to get that additional follow-up kill with the toss available on Polison, but he didn't have the Avalanche to secure it entirely.
And with that, looks like Gabby's already queued up the Radiance build onto that Spectre. So he wants to build into that Radiance, wants to be a bit greedier and go into that later stage of the game. Can't deny him that. If he can just keep the farm up, he should be fine to get it pretty soon, but there's a bounty on his head now. So T1 going to be looking to try and make that gank onto the Spectre within the next 5 minutes, it seems. We'll see if they can make it happen.
They're chasing up forever on this top side of the map, but even with that Spirit Siphon onto him, it's not enough to chase him down.
No, it is not.
They'll still get the tower, though.
They'll hold on to the Exorcism as well. No need for that committal. So maybe now you could try to make a play with that Exorcism, but yeah, they'll smoke up.
Through.
The level 1 Exorcism, though, just feels so weak in comparison to the level 2.
Literally double the damage.
Yeah. It's one of those things where, like, the tower just doesn't seem to take that much damage from this ulti from the DP at level 1. And, well, they're going to try and maybe go for a kill here. Miracle is around the corner, but he's already got a Remnant set up to get out of this.
I think using it how they did previously, the AA is still going to melt for it, right? Because heroes scale, towers don't at the start of the game. And, well, they're going to be able to pick them off even without using it. So another nice kill being picked up for Armel.
Yeah, they'll take their outpost back. In Your Dream, I've got to say, is farming very, very nicely on the Morphling as well. Danog is almost, not almost at the Ethereal, but he is getting close to picking up that Eagle Song now. So just pure shotgun build from In Your Dream. I don't necessarily see anything like a... Well, maybe there is going to be a pipe being built. KP, he does go for the Hood of Defiance, it seems. So perhaps already ready for this shotgun build from the Morph.
Yeah, I think he's not the main target either. You want to be able to burst down the Death Prophet if you can, but smartly, Armel's going into the Yule Scepter to see if he can perhaps dodge that out. I'm liking this trust that's coming through from T1, though. They're realizing that, well, In Your Dream, he could go the Ghost Scepter just to play it safe, but wanting to speed up his farm as much as possible, going for that Eagle Song and holding on to the gold for now.
And they'll run straight into KP. Chains up. KP, can you get the Rolling Thunder off? Probably not. The Avalanche was there from Polison, and Jokam will be the one to take the kill on the AA. And a very, very important rune being caught out there by Miracle. He does have a double damage bottle up now. He may want to try and start making plays with this again. Forev. Chase down March up at that top lane. Would prefer to go on to Gabby. But Gabby, of course, had the scouting there from March, so it looks like both of them should be able to just leave that top lane rather safely.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
I say that, Tims.
Yeah.
Slows him down.
Something. Yeah, I don't think they're going to be able to catch him. I'm liking, again, this deep ward coming through from Jokam there, revealing if they are going for some sort of deep smoke. You want to make sure you can scout out any potential movements into their own jungle now, which, granted, is probably going to be rare from TNC now that they've lost the Tier 1 tower as well as this outpost. You don't really want to make too many skirmishes towards that area.
I agree with that.
Alright. Eagle Song picked up. He's going to be able to farm much faster now on In Your Dream, and any supports that rotate through, you don't even need the E-Blade. That Adaptive Strike's going to do a lot. Ice Blast coming out here.
Mid lane, not going to connect on anything though, Miracle. He had the DD rune active, wanting to go for some kind of cheeky play. Doesn't really work out. But this is allowing In Your Dream to just slowly siege away at that bottom tier 2 tower, and it will force in rotations. KP Rolling Thunder does connect onto Jokam, so they have got the AA in place. They'll get an easy kill there. In Your Dream, however, will be able to just walk out of there scot-free.
Yeah, I mean, it's just an AA at the end of the day. He doesn't really mind that much.
Forev. Hops the Firefly. I thought he was going to make a chase onto Gabby, but just wanted to get that Necromonicon unit, and he does get the Warrior for himself. Just uses the rest of the farm up now on that Bat Rider.
Yeah, handy to get the gold for yourself as well as just deny up that that farming speed a little bit from Gabby. So nicely done. He's picked up the Relic though, so next Haunt is going to be able to do a fair amount. Armel still not quite yet that level 12, so you don't want to be sieging all that much without that. So perhaps that's the timing they're waiting for. Get level 12 on the DP, Radiance on the Spectre, and finish. Oh.
Yeah, he's been lassoed. There's no way out of that one.
I was about to say finish up that Hood on KP, but that doesn't help the situation.
No, it does not. And to make matters worse, In Your Dream now has the full Ethereal Blade up. He is, I'm sure, is going to try and use it straight away, as you don't really want to wait too long. Thing is, though, you look at Gabby, he's got the Sacred Relic, he's going into the Radiance now, and should have that up relatively soon as well. But that does kind of mean he may be susceptible to really being shotgunned down there by In Your Dream. Like, you don't have any defensive capability quite yet on that Spectre. So you can really just pump out the damage if you are IYD. For now, he'll just kind of keep farming up in that Morphling and just trying to get those tier 2 items up, it seems. I imagine T1 will try for a smoke very soon.
Yeah, they're going for it. He's keeping the bottom side of the map pushed in. Really nicely done. Alleviates some of that pressure on the top side. You can farm it a little bit easier, perhaps around some choke points to make sure you're not getting easily picked off. How's the neutral situation? 3 so far now. Not locking out with the Ancient Camp, but the rest of his team are able to pick it up. So 4 tier 2 items versus 1 right now. I'm keen to see if TNC do wait until at least they do secure that one.
Well, Bounty's going to be placed onto Polison, it seems, so maybe they're not going to wait. Polison is showing up at that top lane at the moment. So they could try and go for the kill. March is just going to hang around there with Armel.
Yeah, speaking of Polison, he's just had that Blink Dagger finished up. He doesn't have enough mana to actually get a full combo off here, though, so has to be a little bit careful.
There's going to be a quick smoke from TNC now. They do have the Radiance up, so they're going to go for that Haunt Radiance with Gabby.
Look at all this aggression on the bottom side of the map, though. Forev really nicely just camping on the top side here. Are they going to be able to pick off Miracle, though?
Perhaps they try with the silence. Another silence there. Now KP with the Inkswell roll in. Haunt being committed as well. They'll get one. Going on to Joe Cam for a bit of a cherry on top here for Gabby. Forev going to try and slow this down with a Flame Break. But they will have enough. March will be the one to secure the kill there on the Oracle. And it's a decent smoke from TNC.
It is having to pop a big cooldown for it, though, and, well, they're just going to be up in another 20 seconds. Will they be able to protect this tier 1 tower is the big question. No glyph available, and it looks like they'll just have to let it fall. Unless we get this Blink Initiation from Paulson. Ooh, no.
Not going to try for it yet. Now he's been silenced up. The Fortune's then going to fly out, and In Your Dream, he does go down. He denied the tower, but at what cost?
He was Agimorphed.
Oh, no.
And he got silenced.
That's a classic mistake. Mel, however, being caught out on that cliff now. Ice Blast and Avalanche Toss was there. It's not going to be quite enough, so KP will turn back around with the Spectral Dagger and the Soulbind with the double silence from Tims. They're all locked in right now. Gabby's trying to get in range to just take these guys out. Joe Cam should die, but the Avalanche Toss, Paulison, he's back in. It's just not enough. They clumsy knit him up. They false promise KP, and they go back in for another kill. A 4-for-0 trade on the side of TNC, and oh, that Agimorph, that is not good.
I mean, it was looking so promising for them, getting some really great initial farm into your Morphling. All for denying a tier 1 tower. It's just, it ain't it.
It really isn't. Forev, he's going to go after March now. Fortune Zen purges off some of that sticky napalm. Forev does get to the bounty in time, and March is going to die. He knows. He'll go down eventually. I don't think he minds, though. You've basically nullified the net worth lead that T1 did have. They were sitting at almost 4k, but now they're just sitting around at around 1k. As the graph is yet to update as well. And I'd say at this rate, Gabby has a Radiance. If he just keeps farming, he might just get to that point where he's out of control in the Spectre. This mid, Paulison show up, clears out a creep wave. There'll be a smoke out from TNC. That Observer Ward that they placed earlier on had expired, so now Yules is going to be there onto Paulison, and he does not have a way out of this situation. He's just locked in. He does go for the Avalanche, toss back onto KB, but that's just going to allow Armel to get his 5th kill of the game.
Are they going to pop the Exorcism for this? Yes, they will. They want this Roshan.
Why not? It seems like they haven't used Exorcism in such a long time. It's like you may as well just commit, but the Ice Blast.
Ice Blast.
Gonna be there. Now the lasso
nice.
out. as well. KP going to be in a bit of trouble. Still not enough. He'll just turn around with a swashbuckle. Buyback will be there from Paulison. They are slowing down the Roche. Nice shotgun dodge as well on Armel. And now the double silence is going to turn around back on the Morph. No, wants to back off. Remnant in for Miracle. He has a Deso up now, so he's feeling confident with the damage output. A great double chains. In Your Dream jumps in, blows up March. Now the Haunt being expended from Gabby. They'll go back onto the Morphling. A lot of pings coming up though. No, they'll switch around now. Miracle goes down to Armel. Joe Cam's dying as well. He'll die on the AA. Now Forev turning around with Paulison, but do they have enough? The shotgun's there. They blow him up. Gabby is down, but now you've got the Soulbind with the double siphons out from Armel. This Tiny's low. He will drop. The silence is out on the Morphling. They will get the better end of the trade, and Armel's on a triple. That's a huge team fight once again for TNC. They even got the dieback on the Tiny.
They did, and all that action happening after the exorcism had expired. You know, I thought T1 were playing that really nicely, making that initial initiation, forcing a few cooldowns to be expended by TNC, but as soon as they heard that Rolling Thunder, they just booked it, waited for it to expire. By that point, there was no exorcism, but even then, they just had Miracle get popped way too quickly.
With that, T1 might have to kind of revisit the game plan. So these team fights haven't really been panning out their way. Forev going to get jumped on now. Swashbuckle did miss, but it won't matter if you've got the clumsy net Inkswell. He will lasso, but that's only going to make the situation worse. Just kind of guaranteed the Inkswell there from KP. And Armel takes the kill.
That is not what you want, and I think that's actually a bigger deal than what it might seem. You know, they had, with this Morphling and Tiny just respawning right now, they had a 40-second or so window where you don't have Exorcism, you don't have Haunt. Sure, you've got the Rolling Thunder still available, but the Haunt is the real thing that you're concerned about, especially with this Tiny and the Radiance up on the Spectre.
T1. Exorcism going to be popped again. They'll go back into that Roshan. But T1 are very well aware of this.
I just don't think they can do anything, to be honest.
Try and steal maybe with Miracle Sleight of Fist, but you look at KP, he's ready for it. Tree Throw will give a bit of vision. Ice Blast will give more. Remnant in. The Aegis will be taken by Gabby. Roshan as well will go to the Radiant side. And now, in that Roshan pit, there is no way Miracle gets out. They do kill off March, but it doesn't matter. You lose the Pos 1 Ember.
Every single one of these team fights, it just starts off with the Ember Spirit dying. I mean, sure, he's not the top of your net worth, but it's still a fair portion of your damage. And with this skill build that he's gone, with the Desolator, no save for himself. It's not even like he can even use himself up or use the BKB, which, well, he's got queued, but just not there quite yet.
Now, on TNC, they have the slight net worth lead. In Your Dream is still just farming up decently on the Morphling, just behind Gabby on that Spectre. In Your Dream's going to seemingly start working towards that Eye of Skadi now on that Morphling. Gabby, just waiting for that Manta to be finished off. He needs about 200-300 gold for that. Just needs the ultimate orb. And he's also building into the exact same thing. Manta into Eye of Skadi.
Perfectly reasonable. I mean, the Manta, of course, first and foremost, lets you get out of things like the Searing Chains, lets you, you know, dodge a few things coming out, and of course just keeping that passive pressure on throughout the map with your illusions. So I'm really liking that, and then just tanking up after that. They've gone in on him though.
Ice Blast, it's going to be a lot of damage, Gabby. I don't think you get out of this one. He will try, but no, they'll lose the Aegis.
They gotta leave. Get out of dodge.
Tim's chasing, Soulbind down, Double Silence is flying out, Gabby will haunt. Tim's always starting off the best team fights, it seems, for the side of TNC. They get Miracle again. Now Paulison goes down. And you kind of talked about this the last time around, but you just don't want to lose the Ember like this.
Yeah, 3 different team fights where Ember dies at the start. It's sure you get the Aegis, but I guess they could have threatened a few more towers. You didn't want to lose too much of your map, but I mean, Dota Plus tells the real story. 83% win rate with only a 2k net worth lead. This Spectre's starting to get out of control.
That he is. Make it 84% now. The Gabby is going to be feeling very, very confident, sitting at 7-1 with 11 assists thus far. Of course, Armel 10-1 with 4 assists on that DP. It's been a great game for these two. Tim's is the guy that's really setting up, though, I must admit, right? Like, every team fight that seems to go the way of T1, suddenly Tim still has Soulbind available. And he always turns around with that Soulbind double silence into the double Spirit Siphon of Armel. That seems to be the turning point of these team fights every single time.
I think maybe there needs to be a bit more communication on T1's side of what to do if the Ember Spirit gets silenced. Because like you're saying there, the Soulbind gets used onto him. That time around, I believe it was the AA that was linked up with him. But Ember really couldn't do anything because he was silenced the entire time. So he couldn't Remnant away or anything like that. Just through being a support, the support's going to die first every single time, so that once he's away, he can just Remnant away, right? He's not linked together with anyone as long as you kill that Phantom's Embrace. So I think if you get linked up to Miracle, just kill his Phantom, help him do it, because you're going to die anyway.
Absolutely. Oh, Paulison used up, getting caught now with the Ink Swell of Armel. They actually popped Exorcism, which is perhaps a bit preemptive, but maybe assuming the rest of the team was right behind him, they were not. T1 was already running away. I guess if you're T1, at least you know that's down for a bit.
And Gabby's got a Paladin Sword.
Oh, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
Every time. It's like you don't need this item, but here you go. Just to really guarantee you that team fight. TNC just take back their own jungle. They still maintain that 1k lead. T1 still trying to get In Your Dreams BKB up now, so his farm's still going great on that Morphling. Very, very defensive items, though, to come out. I thought he was going to go for that Eye of Skadi next, which he had queued up initially. But BKB seems to be the game plan.
I think they're realizing that they just need to try and make stuff happen right now, because if you go Skadi and delay your BKB in that manner, Spectre's just going to win win TNC the game in that time. So I'm liking the decision. I think they just need to up the tempo. You could tell they were trying to do it beforehand, but yeah, just like 4 team fights not going their way, and you have to be worried that their window's closed.
TNC now going to start slowly setting up for that bottom tier 1, it seems. Forev going to try and apply pressure into that mid lane with this Bat Rider and force them back, but you do already have Gabby and Tim's around the corner, so they won't mind just taking care of the creep wave themselves. Well, meanwhile, that bottom tier 1 is still slowly being chipped away at by Armel. Suppose they are in a similar position here on T1 to try and get the same thing done up that top lane, but they'll just let the creep wave do that job.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
But now you've got the whole of TNC grouped up.
You do. He's going to be able to, with this tower kill as well as the creep wave, be able to pick up either a plate mail or a talisman of evasion for himself. Yeah, he finishes up the halberd. So even now, not that they had too much right click previously, a lot of the damage obviously coming through from the shotgun style from In Your Dream, you don't have the follow up.
Well, TNC now as well will just kind of make their way through to that mid lane. They have the Exorcism up again, so if they want to go for a big push, they can. Especially considering you also have that Haunt up from Gabby. But Gabby's getting pretty darn close to that Eye of Skadi now. He can buy that second Ultimate Orb and will have the point booster soon as well. So perhaps TNC just say, look, we'll just wait for that to be up, and then we can really feel like we can secure a team fight easily.
Polison's in deep here. He's in danger of being spotted out here by Armel.
Doesn't though. No, the pings come out. They knew, but he does blink away. Does he get out?
Run,
Spectre's
Tiny.
dagger? No, he's not getting out. Fortune Send's going to fly in. He tosses away Gabby. It isn't going to matter though. Forev being forced to blink away before KP runs over him with this rolling boulder or rolling thunder. On the bright side, T1, they got the top tier 2 tower. The tier 3's being pressured. This should force our TNC back for maybe 30 seconds, maybe a minute.
Morphling with the enchanted quivers, so they're really going for the style where they want to pop someone early on. Most importantly, the Death Prophet, but it's going to be rough. They don't really have any great forms of initiation to start the team fight.
Oh, Ice Blast, mid lane, KP, rather False Promise will save, and now Gabby does get in with the Horde. Jocam going to get taken out immediately, and now Miracle just has to BKB TP, and even through that, he almost did go down. There was no way to cancel it off, though.
A little bit of a worry, though, now that you don't have the Haunt, so maybe once you're back up online with our AA, you could make something happen here.
See if they do T1, they must be getting a little bit desperate to try and make something happen. Mel going to take a double damage rune. Miracle just not willing to risk his life for that. I can't quite blame him.
It's happened way too many times for him to take that risk. He's playing scared right now.
And there's that Eye of Skadi. Gabby has it up. He's ready to go. So sitting pretty tanky there at 3.2k. It's almost at the level 25 mark as well. Is it level 22? I guess In Your Dream is the same. And, well, a smoke comes out. Lasso is there. Straight onto Armel. Be a great pick if they could get it. He will use up. Now, Ice Blast to fly through. Armel does BKB up and pops the Spirit Siphons and Exorcism. And T1, they can't actually blow anyone up yet. Miracle's trying to man fight, but needs to rim it out of there. Gabby is hitting way too hard. And with those spirits just flying after him, he really needs to get out. But they're still following him down. Now, In Your Dream, needing to waveform out as well. Still nobody dead. Swashbuckles out from KP. Paulson jumps back in with the Avalanche toss, but the False Promise is there on Gabby.
Again.
They get Miracle. He's dead on the Ember. Paulson also caught out. Now In Your Dream, again waveforming out of there just in the nick of time, but I can't say the same for Jocam. Though he looks like he may just run out of it. No, he overthought which way he goes, and well, he gets an Ice Blast, but it's not going to mean anything. TNC again finding a 3-for-0 trade and straight into that mid-tier 2 tower.
Man, it's hard to watch, right? Because their laning stage was going really well on T1. They drafted nicely. They set themselves up for victories, but there's 3 team fights where the Ember Spirit gets picked off beforehand. They get a good initiation there onto the DP, but they don't get the full shotgun combo onto him before he can get that BKB off.
They try to commit it there onto KP, but he has the pipe up as well. He just blocks out so much of that damage, and now on tier 3 tower, it's not the fastest progression there with TNC's Exorcism down, and now the Lasso for Ev, trying to sneak a kill in. Can they actually take him out though? Gabby, he does pop the Manta. Now Soulbind is there, locking in the Tiny Morph. In Your Dream doesn't want to back off, but the Tiny does. Now Ice Blast going to fly through. Another shotgun, but Tim's doesn't even die. And they'll go in again. Miracle trying to chase down KP on the Pango. They do at least kill him, but everyone else is currently getting out of there. Tim's is fine. Mel is also fine. And, well, Gabby's actually pinging out the Roshan. He wants to go for that. He may have to wait a minute. But everyone else gets out apart from KP.
Able to just get away. Again, execution not perfect. This time, though, they have the advantage of fighting on their tier 3 high ground. And, well, that Roshan pit, it's looking pretty ominous right now. TNC, they played together so well. But, it'll take another big team fight for them to run away with the rest of this game.
T1, they won't really be able to afford to give that Roshan away either. So they'll start posturing around that Roshan pit, trying to make sure that TNC won't have an early entry in. Of course, they are waiting for KP anyway. Maybe even just a Horn on Gabby, just in case you're going to need it. Not to mention, Gabby's about to have that full basher up now. He can really afford to buy it if he wants. And looks like he just needs the recipe. We'll have it soon. But T1 have smoked up.
Who did they spot under that? They had... I was looking at Radiant Vision, and for some reason the Ember Spirit after the smoke came out was spotted on the map very briefly. But shouldn't be the case. They're going to try and push this wave out a little bit. Should give away his positioning.
T1. Yeah, they're not really going to get anything out of this. They're just trying to get some D wards out, it seems. Stick as a team. You've got the Haunt now available with the Basher. Onto Gabby. Paulson, he's been slowed up. Inkswell is there with the clumsy net. Yules will kind of block out the Inkswell, but Rolling Thunder will have a very, very easy passage. And now poor old Jocam, he's being chased down. Run for your life, Jocam. It won't matter. both supports down, and that is Roshan for the side of TNC.
Can they take it in 40 seconds? You would think so, with the amount of farm that they've been able to secure for Gabby at this point, but maybe trying to scare him a little bit, and it works.
Well, okay.
Radiant's courier has been killed.
I didn't think the buyback was going to be that big of a problem for the side of TNC, but apparently it is. T1, they actually take over the Radiant side triangle now, but Tim seems to be aware of this. He gets the silence off, but a great BKB out from Miracle. He does get the BKB off in time.
I mean, yeah, it's a good BKB from him, but now you don't have BKB and they're hitting Roche.
That they are. In Your Dream will actually tip TNC, Tim's on that, and I don't blame him. He did make a great play. So Forev, going to be up with that Firefly, trying to gain vision of that Roshan, what the HP is looking like. They can't afford to let this go.
Ice Blast.
It's going to fly in. Let's connect onto two.
Mid lane's pushed in a little bit as well, but I don't think you take that trade. Tier 2 for a Roshan, Aegis, and Cheese is not worthwhile.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Got to make a play right now. It's going down.
That it is. They want to try and jump in again. They do catch out the Batrider with the Yules, and Forev may have to make a run for it. Roshan still being focused. They're going to try with Polison. Avalanche toss. Roshan solo. Gabby, he does click faster. He'll get the Aegis for himself, and Tims will take the kill onto Polison.
And, like, I appreciate the courage from doing that, but is that the right sort of play to make? Oh, they might catch out KP here, actually.
It's a nice pick-off, but now Haunt's been committed. Gabby straight after Joe Cam. They trying to shotgun him up, but he will just mantle that off. And well, Joe Cam going to try for the TP with the Glimmer. It won't be enough. They have the gem onto Armel to give that detection away. But I guess now that Haunt's down for TNC, they may just want to reset and wait till they try to go high ground again.
Possibly. They've got tier 4 items that are available for themselves. They used it a little bit in that team fight to T1's advantage with the Ninja Gear being available on the... well, it was the Ember Spirit at the time, but now Morphling's got it. Just wants to be able to get these solo pickoffs, but I don't think TNC are going to want to split up anytime soon.
Smoke up. TNC will run straight into In Your Dream. Gabby's smoke is broken. Of course, In Your Dream gonna try and waveform away, but the dagger won't actually connect.
He's getting close to his level 25 as well here on Gabby, so that's another thing to be concerned about if you're on T1. And yeah, I'm just not feeling it. Like with Polison going into that Roshan pit, it was right after he bought back, so I could understand if he still had buyback, right? If they were trying to make any sort of aggressive movement forward, then you can buy back and try and make something happen afterwards. But to be on the sidelines for 80 seconds was a really risky play.
Lasso. March going to be caught out on the Oracle, and well, I'm having a bit of lag right now, actually. But yeah, no, everyone is. And whoa, the game just crashes.
For you as well?
Yes.
I'm in still. But we have 4 players DC'd and 1 caster.
Well, I'm coming back. I won't be too long, so I'll be back in a minute. There we are. I've reconnected. Looks like everyone else has also reconnected now, so we should be forever. Hate Stoner.
Maybe it's secretly Faker. You can see it in his name, right?
Yeah. Sad boy.
That lag might actually help out T1 because of it, or it could have potentially just been a misclick. Armel went for the Yule Scepter save onto Forever as he was dragging him away, so that could be the difference maker. We're going back though.
Arch, False Promise does get it off. And now KP rolling in after In Your Dream. Does get him with the clumsy net. Keeps rolling but can't quite find an angle to go up onto the Morphling, so instead they'll leave him be. You've got Haunt back up in 5 as well.
You do. This is really important though. In Your Dream, he's only probably 1 creep camp away from picking up his level 25, so we'll see what he opts to go for. Probably the waveform charges. Just, it feels like he's less effective than he might like to be in these team fights because he's always having to use it defensively, but now you can play a bit more on the front foot, try and take out that Oracle like Forever's been forced to do up until this point at the start of the team fights.
There goes that final outer tower. Gabby Still has the Aegis, wants to go for a bit of a push here down this bot lane. False Promise, still 25 seconds left for that to be back up, but they'll go into the mid tower now. Exorcism to be popped as well. It's going to be a very, very hard team fight for T1 to take if they are going to try and defend this.
There's a double siege camp on the top side that's pushing into the Radiant base. They need to be a little bit careful. Paulson as well, he's going to cut this wave, make sure that's not a factor.
Alright, so maybe they just don't get the racks then.
Yeah, backdoor's up.
Comes in. They could try and go through with this Exorcism. It'll take a bit more time, but they might get it done. But no, in your dream, he's going to spam Ethereal Blade. There's no way you're getting through it. And now, nice toss back. They have found Gabby, or rather, Gabby's found poor old Jocam. Jocam dies.
Still pushing.
Yeah, Soulbind is there. Miracle, he's down at the bot lane, top lane, trying to get that done. Rolling Thunder, going to be lassoed up. Soulbind again. That Morphling in trouble, but that top lane is still going down the racks. Miracle, he is going to pick it up now. And TNC has been unable to get their own racks. They are getting a creep wave up here, but even the mid tower being pushed in by an illusion right now. The Miracle, he's done it. He's found a very successful trade for his team.
For now, you know, now it's still a 5v4 situation. I suppose they don't have Exorcism, they don't have Haunt, they don't even have Rolling Thunder.
They've got Gabby and a False Promise. And they're going to jump onto Jocam. The AA just not having a great time. Does end up dying back here. So Gabby back onto that mid-racks. There's a huge creep wave in the Radiant base right now. And you can see Miracle running back down towards that Radiant base. That's a lot of range creeps. The TNC, they do decide better of pushing any further. They're going to back off. Gabby's going to go farm himself up a couple hundred gold out of this. And the mid racks for the top racks. Can't complain with that.
I think that's one of those situations where, because he picked up the leveler, he went for that sort of play. And it normally wouldn't be at the front of mind constantly. Of course, having the Death Ledger is already really impactful for being able to enable the creeps just to do a lot of damage passively to the towers. But I mean, the fact that they were able to get even anything favorable out of that is looking really solid. Lots of buybacks being expended, though, on T1's side.
I do love the fact as well that Miracle's got this this AC as well as that leveler. Like, he's attacking so fast right now. It's not every day you see AC built up on the Ember, but it does seem to pay off quite nicely, especially up against that Spectre. And Miracle, well, you've always going to be concerned now as to where this Ember is, but they're going to smoke up. KP does reveal himself trying to go after Forev, but he's out of there. Now Paulson will just throw a quick avalanche out, and will allow the rest of his team to get out of there successfully. Meanwhile, In Your Dream has been bought enough time to pick up his Satanic, but I don't believe he's left himself with buyback gold. Whether it matters or not is a different story entirely. Like, I don't know if TNC will actually go for that high ground push again anytime soon.
Oh, potentially. I mean, they've got a lot of tools at their disposal, maybe waiting for the Roshan, get a little bit of luck on their side. I think the Refresher Orb would be the real thing that they're keen about, having that either double Exorcism, double Haunt, both perfectly viable. Even double Rolling Thunder and just have KP roll around in the middle of a team fight and leave the structures open for the remainder of the team to take. Oh man, a Timeless Relic as well.
That's a good feeling. T1 is being very kind of very frustrating here. They just keep split pushing out that bot lane. Now going back for that top lane, and TNC just never really finding a moment to be able to try and go for that secondary high ground push. And even if you do, there's still Miracle to be worried about. Sticking around that Radiant side, just in case he needs to split push again.
I wonder what his next item is that he's going to pick up here. You can tell that that's what he's thinking. He's like, all right, gonna try and get in here on the back lines, make a little bit of a covert play happen. He knows Tim's is around, so maybe he'll go for something a bit more aggressive, but Armel showing himself will cause him to back off. KP might be caught out here. Oh, who's catching who?
Yeah, KP's got the Basher up. BKB up on Miracle. They're going to go after Tim's, but Remnant out. Gabby does Haunt in. He'll just have to go after Paulson. Paulson should be caught out and does get caught out by the Basher of KP. So you do get the haunt out for the sake of that tiny.
You get the haunt out. I'm surprised he didn't just go for the instant TP. He used that Yule Scepter really effectively. Could have potentially caught it out, but I suppose just not wanting the risk of not being able to TP into this outpost if this Roshan timer was super quick, but it's going to be 2.5 minutes.
Yeah. Well, it's still a bit of a... not so much a stalemate, but both teams are kind of stuck against each other right now, just not able to do much on this map. Miracle's still holding that gold, by the way. He still hasn't decided exactly what he wants on that Ember.
Not just yet. I think the main thing he wants right now is that level 25, just for that additional amount of maneuverability. You would think it's... oh, they caught out Batrider. Oh,
uh-oh. Forev goes down. The mid-racks is going down. Gabby does secure it now. He moves up to that top lane. Armel, he'll pop the Exorcism straight away. There'll be a buyback on Forev immediately. Miracle has not backed off yet. He's trying to collapse through the mid lane, but it's just him. Can he do it?
He's a man on a mission.
He is. He's going to try and race the side of TNC. It's not going to be the fairest race, but he'll try his best. Scabby keeps working on towards that melee barracks. They can try to rotate down to the bot lane straight after this if they want.
He's still going. He's in there with his leveler.
He's trying his best, but now the team fight starts. Gabby jumps in onto In Your Dream. In Your Dream will BKB through. Nice lasso out though, but the Soulbind will cancel that with the False Promise. And now the Ice Blast does fly onto Tims and Gabby. Tim's going to be in a bit of trouble here. He should just die out here in Your Dream and does. Still, Gabby is going to be safe, but maybe not so much anymore. They are chasing, tossing him back onto the high ground. He will haunt back to the low ground. Paulson will die. Now they go on to Morphling. In Your Dream, just waveforming out, but here comes Miracle. He is fresh as a daisy right now, or maybe not. In Your Dream, he's going to be chased down. The cheese was there from Gabby, bringing the treads back into the bag. That bot lane is even being pushed in though by the siege creeps, but it doesn't matter. TNC, they're not done, but they won't be able to catch out anyone else.
Smoke again coming out. They're realizing they need to try and capitalize on this. Miracle was forced back by a few lucky procs of the lucky shot from KP, who rotated back, getting some disarms off, getting a bash as well, and well, that could have potentially saved a lot more damage being done to the base.
That Radiant base is still being pushed.
Yeah, and maybe trying to catch them out on the TP out here with... oh, Morphling is on the front lines. He does have buyback.
Side devices there on Armel now. Lasso, though, going to be there on KP with the Ice Blast, trying to secure the Pangolier. They will get him.
And the gem.
It's a nice gem and a Roshan. It just spawned. Great timing. That's going to force KP to buy back immediately.
Refresher Orb as well is available on this Roche, so no one wants to give it up.
Absolutely not. Courier's going to keep scouting it out. There's marchers right there. So both teams going to hang around that Roshan pit. Looks like Miracle is going to try and force somebody back to defend. And
he's reached that level 25 mark as well, so he's got the extra slide of fist charges. We've seen him throughout the earlier stages of this game get locked down and not able to make too much of an impact in these team fights. He's closer and closer to finishing up his Aghanim Scepter as well, but he doesn't want to be left without that buyback.
Can't blame him for that, especially considering now Tims has his Scythe device up, so you've got 2 hexes. And, well, never mind, he does buy that Aghanim Scepter. 350 gold off buyback gold. Miracle.
He's a little short. I think, yeah, this is the right play. He tosses the Remnant out. He goes and farms a creep wave. He's got his bottle ready, and they've got bounty runes about to spawn.
But a smoke up from TNC. They're looping right behind T1. In Your Dream does also smoke. It does get broken now. Both see each other, but don't react fast enough. No, there's the Scythe device with the Spirit Vessel. In Your Dream does BKB up Gabby. He'll jump straight onto Jocam. Meanwhile, the lasso's on an illusion. Forev got one of the Haunts illusions. Oh, that is not great. March trying to survive there with Tims. They will. Forev will die. Now back onto Jocam. No. They want to go onto Miracle. He's out of there. Meanwhile, in the Roshan pit, another team fight starting. In Your Dream just fighting everyone else on the morph. He will waveform out. Ice Blast to fly through. It's absolute chaos here, but somehow TNC have made their way back into the Roshan pit, and they just get it started. But no. Back onto Jocam, trying to get that dieback on the AA. JoeCam is going to die back. He's not around for another 90. They'd love to pick up In Your Dream on that Morphling as well, but he is going to be safe. And now, instead, they do find Miracle. Inkswell stun does land. Do they have enough to lock him down? With the silences, they will, but this time around, he does have the gold.
He does have the gold for that buyback. In that team fight, you could tell that In Your Dream was trying to make some big plays happen. He stole the Grimstroke. He morphed into the Grimstroke, though, so didn't have too much in the form of utility to be able to escape.
They do at least get Tims at the end, the tail end there on the Grimstroke. Well, TNC, they're going to go back for that Roshan.
Pollison's holding on to 2 gems right now. Yeah, Lotus Orb delivered. They're wasting time, though. They got to make something happen here.
They got to make it quick. I think they're out of time. Pollison, yeah, you can't blink in now. They'll just decide who's taking the Aegis. It's still on the deck. Nobody's picked it up. They've got a chance, but KP, he's gone in. Armel will take the Aegis. Gabby just wanted the cheese, and of course Refresher Shard will probably be there on Armel again. They do haunt in, but not really jumping in on anyone. They just seem to want to keep up vision.
Oh, it's the it's the Ags haunt. So just on an individual.
That is nice. Okay, so Gabby's got the Ags up. He's got his real haunt up as well. And they may try to make a play here onto Miracle with that double damage still available onto that Spectre.
Oh no, not the Hex into the Abyssal Blade. That'll be enough.
Mel gonna show himself. No, the Remnant out. Shiver's Guard made it a little bit obvious they were around the area.
Yeah, I don't know about that one.
Still,
there's plenty of range as well.
He
Could have
does
easily had that initiation.
But that does mean TNC, they take the 10k lead. They are 2 Raxes up so far, so just 1 real Rax remaining down at that bot lane, and there is still a tier 3 tower, and Gabby does get JoeCam.
Yeah, just using that Ags Shadow Step to be able to take out the poor supports.
Also
this
has...
bot lane, it's pushed in though.
Uh-oh. A Divine Rapier, though, coming out from In Your Dream now. So he's gone all in. Might be the, it should be the last team fight coming out for T1. There is only 1 real Rax left. Armel, of course, has a Refresher Shard, so double Exorcism is up.
Liverpool's gone for a little bit of the rat. Tims isn't actually with them. He's caught in 2 minds as to whether he needed to join or not.
Well, they do jump in anyway. Who have they caught there with the Hex? It's going to be Pollison. He will die now. KP getting the stun off with the Hex. It's on Miracle. He's in big trouble. That Ember will die. There's no buybacks left. It's really just up to In Your Dream and Forever. They try. They have the Divine, but it's just going to be so difficult to get down the Spectre. In fact, for some reason, Gabby has a Dagon up. And Soulbind, Tims is there now with the double Hex, double Silence, double Dagon. Everything's just been doubled. The Ice Blast does fly through onto Gabby, but In Your Dream does die. That's the Divine on the deck. They don't even pick it up, they just leave it there. They're going for tier 4s, and the GG's been called anyway. No buybacks means no defense.
That's why they did it. They just wanted the double Dagon with the Soulbind together. But yeah, some good execution from T1 in the laning stage. Unfortunately, not carrying through to those first key team fights that they had, and it ended up costing them. It seems like a bit of a reversal of game 1 of the series that we saw yesterday. You know, T1 holding on by the skin of their teeth, but at the end of the day, it's just too much to overcome with a 52-21 kill score.
With that, Danog, looks like the coordinator is going to be down as we leave the game. I'm not sure if it's down for you, but it's down for me. Nevertheless, it is MLP Dota and it is Danog, and we'll see you all again in about 10 minutes for that second game of this best of 3 series.